I'm curious too about the female characters in the film, because it's easy to blame the man and just say, oh, well, he's a dog or he's a player.
Right.
But it takes two to tango. So what are the female characters like in this film?
Well, you've got two main female characters. The first is Sophie, who is the character that kind of brings Tyler around. Like, he falls for her very quickly, and she sees right through him and basically calls him on his tacky ways. And, you know, I think that's, he says in the film that she's his real type. Like, you have two types of people that you date. The type of person you date is somebody who's just outside of what you want, so you can be at ease yet dissatisfied, and never really feel like uncomfortable or nervous or self-conscious, blah, blah, blah. And Sophie's the real type. She's the one that when he hangs out with her, he doesn't want to blow it. He is less cool because he's trying harder. You know what I mean? And she, I think, is going through her own issues of, she doesn't want to give away power, you know? She doesn't want to fall for somebody, you know? She's in a relationship with a guy who maybe is not perfect for her, but it's safe. And at the same time, there's another character, played by Vanessa Branch, who is basically Tyler's equal, and they're both single and having this very casual sexual relationship that is, you know, kind of his longest romantic relationship to date, and it's meaningless. But they're both very pragmatic about, you know, what their relationship is. So or are they? I don't know. I don't know.
Everybody sort of feels in control, like they're not.
Yeah, everyone's fighting for control the whole time, I think. Everybody is, and I think that's true in dating too. It's like, you know, you want to be happy, but you also don't want to be you know, a victim, or you don't want someone else to be in control of your happiness. I don't know. I think it's a constant, you know, tug and, I can't think of the expression, pull and tug and pull, I don't know. But it's, you know, it's not easy. Nothing's easy about love. And I think the whole dance that you go through is really interesting. And I haven't seen many movies about it, to be honest. Like, most of the movies that you see about this kind of stuff are really silly. They're not the way people act at all. You know, if this was a big studio rom-com, you know, Matthew McConaughey would be playing me, and he'd be that guy who's lovable. He's a lovable cad, you know. But the truth is, Tyler is flawed. He's a flawed person, and I like the reality of that. I like dealing with the realities of dating, because I think it's much more interesting than somebody jumping on a horse and racing across the Brooklyn Bridge to stop a wedding that's about to happen, because that doesn't happen. Ever.
Right.
Ever.
I'm curious too, how do you think the film will play in sort of the middle states where everybody's bound by getting married by a certain age and you settle down with that high school sweetheart,
yeah,
versus the two coasts where everybody's, oh, I don't know, and they're doing their own thing and trying to find themselves?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'll let you know, because we open in Shreveport, Louisiana, which is my hometown, where we shot the film as well. That's June 15th. But, you know, I don't know. My last film, Weather Girl, was much more palatable. You know, it's very, it pays off in all the ways that you want, you know, a romantic comedy to pay off. I think it's a little better than your average, you know, romantic comedy, but I'm biased, obviously. But this one is a little less of that. It's a little harsher, and it's, Tyler has teeth. That was one of the things that we kept in the editing room. It would be very easy to make him, to lose the reality, to lose the teeth, you know? It's like, no, he's kind of a selfish asshole, and it's like, we need to show that. If we don't show that, we're not being true, and then the movie doesn't work. So, I don't know. We'll see. I hope they like it.
And what kind of feedback have you received from both men and women, like maybe privately?
Right.
They confided in you, like, that's me, or that was my ex, or something?
Absolutely. I think one of the greatest things about the festival circuit that we've just gone through is, after the movie, everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants to talk about, you know, how the movie ends, and, you know, who they like and who they don't like, and whether this should have worked out or this should. But it's a conversation, and I think that if you go to this movie on a date, you're going to talk to whoever you're with for a while about what it means and what, you know, who you related to, or like, this guy was a jerk, but, you know, he came around, but then what about this guy? I don't know. I think there's a lot to talk about, and I think it encourages discourse, which, as a filmmaker, is really satisfying.
Well, I know we talked to a gentleman that did a doc on online dating, and he said everybody has a pattern of who they choose. So what were some of the patterns in this relation, or in this movie, like that your main character was always choosing the same type of woman?
Yeah, well, that's true, and we touched on it a little bit a minute ago, where it's like it's a girl who's almost exactly what you want, but not enough to actually make your life more difficult, which, you know, is kind of a coward's way out, isn't it? But that is his pattern, and in a way, it's Sophie, played by Natalie Morales. It's her pattern as well, to get something that's safe and comfy. So she is nesting, but he is just ending every relationship after a couple of months because, you know, what difference does it make? You know, why make the sacrifice, all the sacrifices that come with being in a relationship, if you know it's just going to end and, you know, you'll get over it. You know what I mean?
Then you don't get hurt.
Yeah, yeah. It's a flawed theory on life, but I think a lot of people have flawed theories. They're just not as it's structured like his are. You know, it's like you can look at the rules and you can be like, well, this is a dumb rule, Tyler. And it's like, yeah, but I have had people who haven't seen the movie, like on Twitter or something like that, say, oh man, this is ridiculous. You never have rules for dating. That's, you know, that's the worst way to get anything through. But I think that's a lie. I think everybody has rules, you know, whether it's, you know, don't have sex until the third date, or it's, you know, don't date somebody that has a job that requires them to work 18 hours a day. Don't date long distance. These are rules. These are little bitty guidelines that we, in our experience of dating, have decided this is not for me, you know? And I think everybody can relate to having these little guidelines on how to date. Just like you were saying about the guy who made the doc. It's like everybody's got their own thing, but we all have a thing.
Well, women, there's a series of books called The Rules for Women, and it teaches us, I shouldn't be revealing these to you, it teaches us that don't let the guy know that you're available, claim that you have a calendar that you need to check.
Right.
You play very unavailable. What are some of these things that men do that you might be able to share with us?
Well, I think for Tyler specifically, it's not letting it go too far. Like, you know, he don't give flowers or anything like that. It sends the wrong message. Don't spend the night, you know. Watch out for the band guy. If a band guy shows up, he's almost assuredly going to take the girl from you because you guys are suckers for a guy in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, it's little things like that, you know, and like I think one of the main themes of the movie is for Tyler is that, you know, friendship is the most important thing. The friendship that he has, you know, with Martin Starr's character, Alan, in this, it is the heart of the movie. It's you see the humanity in Tyler through his relationship with this dude, you know, that is lacking in his, you know, casual relationships with women.